Hey team, hope you're all doing well today. So this is going to be step 3 in the HYROS setup process. I want to show you guys how to make URL rules today. Okay, so with any kind of URL rule coming from, like, let's say Instagram.com, Facebook.com, YouTube.com, LinkedIn, Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo, the Brave browser, Yahoo, doesn't matter what it is, okay? We can pretty much create URL rules and set up organic tracking for anything by just doing this, okay? So I'm just going to make Instagram organic. So what I like to do is I like to copy my title, okay? So just Control A, Control C on your keyboard, or Command A, Command C, okay? Copy my title, and then little HYROS 101 for you right here. There are 3 types of tags inside HYROS that make up all the data inside HYROS, and with these 3 tags we can pretty much filter for anything inside the business, okay? There are @ tags, which are sources, so where people are coming from, and then there are action tags. So we have source tags, represent where people come from. Action tags represent clicks on a specific page, as an example. And then we have money tags, which represent either products purchased or calls booked inside HYROS. So for URL rules, what we want to do is we want to create a source tag. So you don't need to like click on that or anything like that, but all you're going to do is just put @ okay, for source, and then paste your title. HYROS will automatically generate that title for you, and then you just click select, and then it will generate it in blue just like that. Now the words to match is just going to be something simple like Instagram dot. Okay? So Instagram dot accounts for everything potentially coming from Instagram. So Instagram.com, Instagram.uk, Instagram.de, Instagram.ca, etc. Right? For the whole international world. What we want to do is we want to apply it to the previous URL. And I'll show you what that means here in just a second, but there are basically 2 types of URLs that HYROS tracks: tracked URLs and previous URLs. And then we want to click on the advanced options, and we want to set this URL rule as a disregard source. What that means is that HYROS gives, with a disregard source, a 3-day buffer to prioritize ads over organic. So as an example, if I'm a customer of yours and I'm scrolling through Facebook and I click on an ad of yours, right, but I don't opt in, and then the next day I come to a Google organic or an Instagram organic source, and then I opt in, and then I book a call, and then I purchase, or something like this, right? Well, if it happens within 24 hours, HYROS will actually attribute the sale or the call or the lead to the Facebook source, not the Instagram organic source. So there's a 72-hour window here, basically. And you can set this window to whatever you want it to be. And I'll show you that here in just a second. But we'll create the rule, set it as disregard source, and then if we want to change that time frame, all we got to do is just click on settings, tracking, and then what we can do is we click on attribution, attribution configuration, and then attribution time frame. Nope, sorry, disregard source time frame right there. So 72 hours is the default, okay? But we can set it to whatever we want. So you can give a buffer in hours on how you want that to work, okay? I would recommend 72 hours because, like, honestly, within 72 hours, if someone sees an ad and then 72 hours later clicks on a Google organic, well, you might have had a really good Google organic or Instagram organic source that caused them to like opt in. Maybe it was a post that they saw or something like that. So it really was kind of like the Instagram organic source that led to them booking a call and purchasing from you, as an example. Okay, guys? So I would recommend 72 hours, but you can do whatever you want with the business. But that right there is how that works. Okay? Now, going back to what I was telling you about, let's just say right here. So we have like a lead. This is a click history. Okay, so there's two types of URLs that HYROS tracks: previous URL and tracked URL. Previous URLs are URLs that HYROS can backdate on where someone comes from. Okay, so like typically like an Instagram organic or Google organic, it would say like previous URL google.com, previous URL instagram.com, right? And so that's why we want to set those tracking URL rules to the previous URL. We want to make sure that that's all there, okay? And we want to set it to disregard, right? That right there is pretty much, in a nutshell, how you set up all the organic tracking inside your business. Now, we can also track like email, as an example, for anything that we want using tracking parameters for emails. Or if, for example, you have UTMs that automatically populate when someone clicks onto a link from an email to your site, let's say it's ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign allows you to automatically put UTM parameters on the link that someone clicks on. So it's like UTM source, UTM campaign equals UTM, I can show you right here. But for that, what we would want to do is we would want to create a dynamic URL rule. So a dynamic, we could call this email, right? And then the URL parameter that we can basically assign the source to would be something like UTM underscore email, and then usually what would come after email is like an equal sign, and then like the customer's email as an example, or like what email campaign they're coming from, okay? But you don't need to put the equals or anything like that after that. You just need to put the actual UTM underscore email, and then HYROS will fill in the gaps, equals, and then the name of that, okay? And then you'll set it to source, and then I'll get into other things as well. We can do this for actions or sales or lead stages or qualified calls if they land on certain pages, okay? And then you can also apply this, actually, I would say, to both tracked URL or previous URL, it doesn't matter. And then this right here, I'm just going to kind of delve into this a little bit. So there's basically 3 categories that make up sources inside HYROS. There are traffic sources, okay? So you think of like a traffic source as like Facebook, right? And then there are source categories. Think of that as like the ad set level on Facebook, okay? And then think of the actual like source itself as like the ad level, okay? So 3 different types of levels. But you can put UTM underscore source, and whatever comes after equals with source inside of a dynamic URL parameter will be the name of the traffic source. And then you can do the same thing for the category. And so what that kind of looks like inside HYROS is this. So you'll notice that name is Bing, or that's just the name of it. The source category, these are just organic sources, so there's no category. We can change these if we want. And then traffic source is general. That's just the general traffic source name. But like as an example right here, you can see that the name is basically like the campaign name, the category is like the ad set, and the traffic source is meta right there. And then that at tag right there is like the ad level. So we can do this with dynamic URL rules as well. Okay, and if you guys need any assistance with that, please just reach out to me. I'm happy to assist you with this. But that right there is pretty much how you would set up organic tracking. And once you've basically done these 3 things, you're pretty much set to go. The other things that you would do are pretty much like extra after that. But once you've set these 3 steps up, you pretty much have HYROS rocking and rolling for your business. Let me know if you guys need any help.